It's like talk faster and less.
It's like okay, do it again, but better.
Right.
Now welcome to round 2 of the King of the Coasters tournament. Airtime Machines being matched up. We're going to figure out, in the opinion of this show, who stacks up to be the best Airtime Machine out there, at least of the ones that we've ridden, although we've ridden almost all of them, at least Andrew and myself. And we do have Coaster Cat here with us.
Hello.
She's along for the journey. And she's helped us out. She's ridden a bunch of these herself. So let's start off with Titan at Six Flags Over Texas versus Diamondback at Kings Island.
Diamondback.
Yeah.
All right. So Diamondback moves on.
Well, we kind of said it the last round where it's like knockoff B&M versus regular B&M.
Right. I do believe, let's see. Yeah, a real B&M and Apollo's Chariot took out the other Giovanola and Goliath. So I guess in every case, real B&M wins out.
Yeah. Straight out and back versus the Twister, and the Titan is just not as good as Diamondback. Diamondback is really, really amazing. No,
and yeah, that's an easy one. I don't know that Titan... That it could beat out too much more than it already did. It was up against the 2 Supermen, and that was that was easier for it, I think. But so probably almost anything else in this the 8 that are left in the quarterfinals would have probably won out anyway. Yeah, Diamondback is a great ride. It's almost hard to describe, but it's like everything about it is better. The drops are a little better. The environment, out in the woods like that, it was just a little bit better. Titan more of a parking lot machine. It's just, and then B&M just is reign supreme. Next matchup, we're going to see Fury 325 up against Steel Eel. I think it's the tallest ride in our tournament versus the smallest ride in our tournament.
Oh, that's
interestingly enough. All right, this is David versus Goliath right here. It's not that hard. I think Fury is overall much more solid. They're both fun, but in many ways, Steel Eel kind of stops there. It's just fun, which is important, and it's great for your day just to have fun. But man, Fury 325 is an awesome, powerful ride, and we didn't mention the first time. It's like floating around the park because it's kind of built. It's over some midway, and then it kind of goes out into the new entrance they built along with the ride, and it goes like over and underneath the entrance at certain points, and it's got that little bit of magical quality to it. In the end, actually, I do prefer being isolated in like the woods or something, but this is cool in its own way because it's like a dreamlike thing. You're flying over in this magic floating chair or something. It's just neat because you're flying over and under midways and around people and stuff.
Well, Steel Eel has that too, where you're going over walkways.
Yes, we didn't mention that either, but yeah, Steel Eel does go out over midway for a bunch of it.
But no, Fury 325 is definitely better. I'm trying to think of how to describe this by not saying it's just bigger. Just bigger is better, because it's not really that. Because Steel Eel is really great for it's small, but it's really fun and really awesome. But I guess I like the angles and the type of air on Fury 325. We had mentioned earlier Steel Eel, the air is a little harsher. B&M is a little more gentle, but still powerful.
Yeah, it's the ultimate combination of size and finesse. It still has all. It's kind of a perfect storm of all the elements. It's kind of a total package.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think 325 has to take it.
Yep.
But yeah, like you said, it's important to say not just because of the size. But I think people get that already. I mean, hey, Steel Eel advanced. This is not the first round. We already advanced it once. So it's not that we're discriminating, just bigger is better, or not just being boneheaded about that. But in this case, Fury is. I'd rather ride that if I could ride one right now. And now we have ourselves a battle. Steel Force at Dorney Park versus Phantom's Revenge at Kennywood.
Well, you gotta go Steel Force. Phantom's Revenge is a lot of fun, but it's a little awkward. They had to come in and work with the land, and there's hills and valleys they had to contend with, and other rides because it goes in and around Thunderbolt over there. Yeah,
now that you mentioned that, they actually had to take that ride apart partially.
Oh, Thunderbolt?
I remember seeing that you just reminded me of the pictures. I know they had to do it in the first place when Arrow built Steel Phantom, but they redid the drop again, so they had to do it again.
It feels like what it is. We're trying to make this work, and we did the best we could, and they did a good job. It's not like they didn't, but Steel Force is they were able to plan it out from the beginning instead of trying to come in later.
It's kind of funny how the rides like Steel Force with that design, the extreme out and back. It's like the extreme of that design. It really is just a slender line along the park perimeter.
Yeah,
it takes up almost no extra space that it doesn't need to. It's just enough to have the turnaround to get back to the station, and then the helix turnaround on the other side, mid ride, and then it doesn't take up any other space that it doesn't have to.
No, but Steel Force, more air, just better overall design.
Yeah, it's funny to me that there's at this point a whole generation that probably feels differently about Phantom's Revenge. They wouldn't perceive necessarily what we do about how it's shoehorned in, sort of, and how it's a shoehorned retrofit. And not knowing that, or maybe you know it because you read it, but it's hard if you didn't experience it to really get that fully. I wonder what other younger people think about that ride. It just kind of, it does well for them. Again, they still have it, and it gets a long line and a lot of ridership. So, but yeah, I had trouble with that ride in the first round. Whereas Steel Force is solid. Always loved it. I loved it from the first time I rode it. That's the thing about that ride. That's one of the more consistent rides in me having ridden it now over more than 20 seasons. I don't know that it ever lost anything. It never gained anything either. It's always just been consistent. It's the same ride.
That's a good thing to bring up, because I feel the same way. Where I feel like it is one of the most consistent rides. In that case, it's like the Mariano Rivera of roller coasters or something. It's like you can always rely on it, and it's just had a great 20-year career. It's just always been there for you. It's just solid. Yeah.
You never had to worry about it. You never had to worry about, what's it going to be like this season?
Mm-hmm.
Not like some rides that have come and gone, and it's good sometimes, and then another time you go back and it stinks, and then maybe it comes back again later. But Steel Force, it's a given. It's just what you're going to get, and it's always excellent. Yeah, Steel Force. So the final second round quarterfinal matchup, we have Nitro at Six Flags Great Adventure versus Apollo's Chariot at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, in Virginia. I said that weird, so I had to say something else after it. Williamsburg. Oh, sorry, Busch Gardens, the old country.
Oh, that old thing, yeah.
Well, come on. All right, you start, Coaster Cat. You haven't said much this round.
Because all of them, I've only ridden one out of each. So
you still have nothing?
I honestly can't say anything.
Yeah.
I love Nitro, but I've never ridden the other one. So, ... So you guys take it.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Well, great to see you.
Handshake. Okay.
Great to have you. All right.
I'll just go in the corner and drink some more.
Mm-hmm. Well, where do we start on this one? It's like these rides are actually very similar. It's two of the first B&M Airtime Machines. I know Apollo's Chariot's the actual first, and Nitro's not the second, but it's in there. It's not that far out. And I guess in my mind, it's sort of, and I know this is being unfair, but it's almost like Apollo's Chariot is like Nitro Junior or something. And I know even just based on the stats, that's very not fair. Apollo's Chariot only, just a few feet. It was 15 feet, I think.
Yeah, 230 height, 215 drop on Nitro.
Oh, so 215 even. All right, so yeah. So the drops are only 5 feet apart?
Yeah, on Apollo's Chariot, height of 170, drop of 210.
Well, yeah, I mean, so that's even closer than I thought. I thought they were like 15 feet apart in the drop category. But
actually, yeah, I never realized that. That is weird.
So it's like Apollo's Chariot really is just as... It's just, again, it drops into a ravine, so the lift, it doesn't take as long, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And then it still packs a, punch and has a pretty cool layout after that. Maybe that's just my own problem and something that's in my own head that I just can't get shake for some reason, that Apollo's Chariot is like this junior, or like that belongs in a category with Steel Eel, because it doesn't. And I know logically it doesn't. That's unfair. It's a full-size ride. It's a full-blown ride. It's an actual hyper.
It's okay if you just like Nitro more, just because it's how you feel. It's okay to feel your feelings.
We're in therapy now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Nitro is just Nitro. It's always delivered. We just said it about Steel Force. Nitro's right up there as well, though. Another really consistent ride. It's never disappointed season after season. And, I think that really speaks mostly to B&M and the fact that they're the most consistent roller coaster manufacturer, and they produce rides that are really well built. They're well designed, but more importantly, for aging, they're more well built than other rides, and that's why I believe they age better than other rides. It's a tough one. I know where I'm leaning. It's a tough one. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah. No, I gotta go Nitro. I think they just refined their design after Apollo's Chariot, and yeah, they are pretty damn close actually, for me. But I do think Nitro's a little meaner. It's a little more powerful, I think, overall.
It's more intense.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Nitro.
Okay, so it was an intriguing match, but in the end, Nitro takes it. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty.
Ooh, the nitty-gritty dirt band?
The final four. Now the semifinals. We have Fury 325 at Carowinds versus Diamondback at Kings Island. All B&M semifinal here.
I would love to ride these back to back.
Oh, Diamondback to Fury back?
Yes. Because I'm not sure. I want to say Diamondback, but I am not sure.
To be fair, though, we have more ride history with Diamondback.
I know. I think that's why I'm leaning towards it.
And Fury, we have done many fewer times. Yeah. Holy shit, this is tough.
I know.
Yeah.
This is like a dead heat. I don't know.
It really almost feels unfair, right, to eliminate either one. I think design, that's a dead heat. Where do you go? I mean, like, okay, the trains. Diamondback has the weird train design.
I mean, it doesn't really hurt it that much, but it is strange.
I mean, yeah, I guess the question is, does that subtract from the ride at all? I kind of feel like it doesn't. I kind of feel like once you're going up the lift and you're on, it really doesn't matter.
No, yeah, I don't think it does.
It doesn't enhance it the way I think they thought it would. Like, where those two inner seats become outsides in their own way. Because I don't think that really quite works. I still feel like I'm on the inside when I'm in those seats, and I don't like it.
Yeah, doesn't work.
But even if I'm in one of those, it doesn't take away. The ride's still great. I mean, all right, placement, Diamondback has the woodsy, out of the park portion. It makes for an awesome night ride. I guess I do. I said it earlier. I prefer that over something where you can see the parking lot.
Right, and I do too.
Fury has the parking lot that you can see if you look over one way, and then it's actually made to go over and around the entrance, so that's sort of part of it. And then I guess it's just, if you're just looking for pure power and intensity, I think Fury takes it there. It's got 100 feet on it on Diamondback. They don't trim the speed after the first drop or anything. I mean, you feel it the entire run.
Does Fury have a cool water element like Diamondback? If you're going to be doing your nitpicking,
okay,
pick it all the way to the bone.
It's all right. Diamondback has a cool water splash pool at the end. I guess you could compare that with the tunnel. on Fury. Fury has the tunnels under. It's still outside the park. It's actually like the pathway from the parking lot to the entrance of the park, the entrance plaza.
Yeah.
People have to walk a bridge over the ride. Well, I like the splash pool better between those two.
I don't know. I mean, the splash pool never really did much for me.
Okay, we both missed it on Valraven. Don't forget.
Oh, you're right. Okay, all right.
Different ride type, but if you take it out, it's like you do kind of miss it all of a sudden.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, tunnels are great. I don't think the Fury tunnel is long enough, though.
Well, it's just as long as the width of the walkway, which is not that.
Yeah, it's not long enough to be like a game changer for that ride.
It's like, yeah, there's a couple of things, like the splashdown pool that Diamondback has and the pitch black out in the woods versus the short tunnel on Fury and the lights of the parking lot and the entrance. Two small things, but maybe that puts Diamondback over.
Okay, Fury has the power and the speed and intensity edge here. Not to say that Diamondback has none of those things. I mean, it's powerful in its own way, but comparatively so. The 100 feet more. Fury is that much more in those categories. But is Diamondback though still a better overall package? Could we say here that maybe there's definitely a place for 300-foot rides, and there's a few of them out there, and I'm glad that they're there. But I'm also not necessarily sorry that there's not more of them. Like, I don't think every park needs one. It's like, maybe 200 is the sweet spot. Of course, as I'm saying this, they're building one in Kings Island.
Right, they're doing it. Well,
so there's about to be another one added to the collection, and in the same park as Diamondback. So
yeah,
maybe a future tournament we'll see those two guys square off. But is Diamondback, though, still a little closer to what roller coaster perfection is? Can we call it Diamondback?
I think so.
I think it sounds like it's leaning that way.
Yeah, yes. The Peanut Gallery has been calling for us to just call it for Diamondback and get it over with.
All right, do it.
Diamondback moves on to the final. And now we have, in the other semifinal match, Nitro of Six Flags Great Adventure versus Steel Force at Dorney Park.
I mean, that's easy for me. That's an easy Nitro right there.
This is an easier one. Yeah, we went through the tough one. This is easier now.
As much as I love Steel Force, it's Nitro. It's the more powerful, the better train design. It's just better overall. A little better designed. It
is superior. It's almost weird to think that these two rides are not separated by that much time. Like Magnum is one thing, and Magnum, the Arrow, that was way back in 1989. What you said, Steel Force was 97, right?
Yes.
Nitro 2001, so only 4 years between them. And yet, because Steel Force is just another take on Magnum, it just feels so much older. And I know Nitro, especially when it first hit, felt like the future. This is where coasters are going. These really free range seats, like you're just out there and you're not climbing into a coaster train. I know B&M had already done stand-ups and some loopers, but as far as these kind of rides, the Airtime Machines is just another level. Just how simple and yet effective and pain-free the restraints are. It's stuff we take for granted now because it's been around so long. But
yeah, it's a good point.
Nitro was one of the early examples of these B&M Airtime Machines, and it's amazing what they were able to do. Steel Force just can't quite approach it.
I enjoy the fluffy airtime of Nitro. I really do. I like the fluff that doesn't hurt any part of my body, and there's no slamming down. It's just I don't know. It's so good that one time that I'm always like, ooh, unexpected airtime, because I don't expect there to be airtime that far towards the end.
Well, like that drop on the way back.
Yeah, the second drop on the way back.
After the turn around, after the furthest point, and
the next
before the helix.
drop.
Yeah.
And then you have all those little bunny hills that also give you airtime, and not one single part of it hurts. I love that ride. So Nitro is my vote.
Your favorite, really? Is it not even a contender? Like it is.
It is my favorite Steel.
Yeah. So that's it. It takes it. Nitro. We've come down to Nitro and Diamondback.
I both know how I feel and know how you feel and know how this is going to go.
Uh-oh.
So I feel like I should just walk away.
It's an all B&M final.
I love Nitro's fluffiness.
Okay.
Diamondback has too much force for me. I would rather fluff it up.
Oh. So the fact that the angles got a little more extreme, the drops got a little more steep,
Yeah.
added a new level of intensity, and you're not totally into that.
Yeah. It's a good ride. I do like the ride. If it was that or nothing, I would definitely take Diamondback. But if I had to choose between Diamondback and Nitro, I would choose Nitro.
Okay. Like you can only ride one for the rest of your life.
Yes.
It's like, okay.
Easy peasy.
Extreme example there. But okay. All right. What do you got, Juicer?
Well, I go Diamondback. I mean, these are two of the best ever, so it's like you can't go wrong either way. But I do like Diamondback a little bit more.
And is it for all the same reasons I like it a little bit less?
Yeah, I guess so. A little more powerful, a little more forceful, or a little more intense. Yeah, the angles are a little steeper on Diamondback. I guess I like that better.
I guess these really are our two favorite Airtime Machines overall. And I guess 325 Fury is like right up there too, because that was tough to eliminate. And then everything else I think was easier for us to kind of let go at some point in all this. I know I do recall recently I was on Diamondback with you. We got to the end, the break run, and did I say that, oh, that's better than Nitro?
Yes.
How have I ever done it the other way?
No.
Yeah, I guess Diamondback.
All right.
Diamondback might be our king of the Airtime Machines.
Still think it's Millennium Force.
Oh, all right. Hold on, we'll get there. Let me see. We gotta make this official.
Now, if we made it down to Diamondback and Millennium Force, I would go Millennium Force easy peasy. Now, if we made it to Millennium Force and Nitro, I would have a lot harder time.
All right, that's you. All right, so that's your.
So that's how it would have played out if I was all by myself.
What would you do? Would it still be Nitro?
I think it would probably still be Nitro.
You just said your number one steal.
I know.
Actually,
I know, but when we were riding Millennium Force, just like you were riding Diamondback, wasn't I like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever?
Yes, and I said that. I was like, oh, so I guess you got to do number one. And then you didn't want to commit. Like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the truth is we can all have a few favorites that are pretty much equal standing in our minds.
Okay, fair enough.
And push come to shove, we had to pick a winner here. We weren't going to do what we did the first time with this tournament and not have a winner. So we went Diamondback with a caveat. It was 2-3 the vote. We had a support vote here for Nitro, but they're both awesome rides. They're really both right up there. It's splitting hairs.
I'd be happy to ride either one right now.
Well, this has been fun. I enjoyed this thoroughly. Maybe we'll do this again sometime with a different category and piss off different folks. Diamondback. So we can't wait to get on Diamondback when the world reopens. We'll have to make a hand. We'll do it in crayon on a piece of paper. We'll draw like a thanks for riding King of the Coasters, and then we'll like tape it on the entrance sign or something for a second. We really should do that and take a picture. We have to do that.
Okay.
And then as soon as the entrance employee comes up to try to stop us, and we'll quickly take it down. Like, all right, we're leaving. We really should. Thanks
For
Writing.